Hey hip chicks, I want to shed a little light on the basics of changing a basic light fixture, in this case a hallway sconce. I have 6 easy tips for beginners to tackle this everyday household DIY project. Since the last video I shot on changing a light fixture in 2012, it's been viewed over 120,000 times, and I have changed probably at least a couple hundred light fixtures, outlets, dimmers, and switches myself. So I want to make sure that you understand those basics, and make sure that you subscribe, because there's always videos coming from Hip Chicks where my whole focus is to save you money, stress, and time. While I don't offer handyman services anymore in people's homes, I only focus on offering online DIY classes for women homeowners. So I want to make sure that I show you how to tackle this project for yourself. I am often shocked by how often my students say, "That was so easy. I was wondering why I was so afraid to tackle this project." And it is easy if you follow these steps. It's not hard, but safety is always the most important thing when you are doing any DIY electrical work. So the first thing you need to think about is your house very old? Do you have knob and tube wiring? If you have a very old home with old circuitry, you really want to hire a professional before you tackle this. If you have a more modern home with standard contemporary wiring, this is a DIY doable project. It's also important that you don't do DIY electrical work when you are alone. It's always great to make sure you have a buddy, and God forbid there ever be a medical emergency that arises, you have someone there to help you. And lastly, make sure you're on a proper ladder. You hear lots of horror stories of folks that take a tumble because they were standing on things they shouldn't have, like wheeled office chairs. So make sure that you're safe before you start. Be sure to unbox your fixture and make sure that you have the instructions, because you should check those, and make sure that you have all of the necessary parts. When buying a new fixture, make sure it's appropriate. If it's an outdoor fixture, make sure it is damp ready and suitable for outdoors. And obviously, if it's a ceiling mount versus a wall mount, make sure you have the right product. And of course, the #1 safety tip when doing electrical work at home is to make sure that you turn off the power. Hey guys, don't overlook this super easy hack that you should do in your house, and that means making a map of your electrical system. It might seem like a total bore to take the time to do this, but I was able to walk down to that basement and flip the right switch the first time because we mapped out our house. So if you would like a little tip sheet on how to map out your house for yourself, make sure you go to the description and click on that link, and I will send you my tip sheet. Let's get this done. Take the bulbs out and then remove the globes for your fixture. Your globes may just twist right out of your fixture, or there may be a ring that sits at the base of the globe that is holding the two pieces together. The next thing is to remove the screws that are holding the fixture to the electrical box itself in the wall. This is the time when you might need a buddy to give you a hand, because the fixture could be a little heavy as it slips away from the wall or the ceiling. Gently pull the wire connections out of the junction box and disconnect them. Set your caps aside and you can reuse them. Remove the old mounting hardware. Assess your mounting hardware before you attach it so you can plan to line up the mounting screws appropriately for the fixture. Attach your mounting hardware to the box. Make sure your mounting hardware is level before you secure it to the wall. Have 3 pieces of electrical tape cut and ready to use. Line up your wires black to black, white to white, and so forth. You're going to make sure that your 2 wires are lined up equal. You want to have about a 1/2 inch of exposed wire on your fixture wire, which is strand wire, and the copper wire from the house. You make sure that these are lined up parallel and give them a little twist. They're less likely to separate from each other inside the cap. Twist the end just a little bit, and then you're going to put your cap on. Remember, there are metal threads inside the electrical cap that will grip and twist this so that it stays snug. After that is connected, you will grab your tape, you start at the cap, and you work your way down so that all of this is connected and snug to stay inside your junction box. Do the same for the white wire. So remember, you're going to twist it, cap it, tape it, and then tuck it into the box. Take the ground wire from the fixture and run it around the screw, which is your grounding screw, on the mounting plate. And then tuck it underneath where your other ground wire is so that you can line them up and connect them underneath your cap, just like you did your other two. So you will twist them together, cap them, and tape them. Tighten the ground screw to hold that wire in place. Once all three of your wires are twisted, capped, and taped, it's time to tuck. Gently tuck them behind the mounting plate so that the pairs stay together and are tucked away completely out of the way. Remove the decorative covers on the end of the mounting screws that match the front face of your fixture. Don't lose these. Gently slide your fixture up and over the mounting screws until it's flush to the wall. Make sure that it is level and straight. Apply your mounting caps to the screws. Remove the ring clip that is for your globe and put a light bulb in, turn on your power, and make sure everything works. Remove the bulb, attach the globe, and be sure to check the inside of the decorative rim where it tells you the maximum wattage for this particular fixture. If you go to turn the power on and you're not getting the connection that you had hoped for, it could be a couple things. One, did you have a wall switch that operates this and you forgot to flip the switch? Maybe you have a bad bulb, which is a simple solution, or maybe your wires came loose inside the wall. So make sure that you turn the power off again if you're going to open up the box to assess that problem. But this is a very easy, doable DIY project. Just be smart, take your time, and follow these instructions. You want to be sure that you twist it, cap it, tape it, and tuck it every time you go to put those wires away. Sometimes when doing electrical fixtures, one of the biggest challenges you might encounter is not the wiring itself, but the mounting of the fixture to the wall. This one went very easily, but sometimes you may have to buy a universal mounting bracket that will give you options to adjust it for different depths. And sometimes you need to change out the screws because the screws that come with the new fixture do not fit into your box. So don't forget, if you would like that cheat sheet on how to map out your house, it's in the description box, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week's Hip Chicks video.